So let me cover what you can expect to see tomorrow night about this time or Wednesday. Okay, Wednesday morning for you guys on the same side of the earth as I am. A critical factor, and I know since like Monday of last week, I told you we were going to be coming out with just a dynamite promotion, and I mean dynamite promotion, okay? And since I made that announcement, as you guys saw last week, we spiked up at $4 per token, and then we've kind of come down a little bit. Now we're starting to stabilize out. When this promotion hits, I mean, we're really going to see some dynamism, not just in the token price, and I'm not promising that. And do your own research, and previous performance does not dictate future performance. But we're expecting very, very big things out of that. But what I made the decision to do, and I shared this with you later on, last week, is we really want to make the registration process absolutely smooth, absolutely fail-proof, absolutely perfect. So I took my team off of pushing out the promotion super fast for today and put them on a new sponsoring registration process. So let me just walk you through very slowly how that's going to work. I'm going to launch that before we all talk again. So like I said, either tomorrow about this time or the following morning, what we're going to provide you with is a way to give out your referral link, okay, which everybody knows what that is and where to find that for the most part, except newbies. Give that to anybody, post it on the internet, post it in your social media feeds. When someone clicks that link and then they go to the website and they decide to connect their wallet, that's going to be the trigger for them to get associated with you. So they don't have to buy tokens, they don't have to stake tokens, they don't have to wait 24 hours, so on and so forth. So I've seen the screenshots, and I had wanted to show them to you today, but I'm waiting for another update because it doesn't look in the final version the way it's going to look. So just bear with me and let me kind of describe that to you. So as you know, right now we go straight to the app. You click on wallet. There's going to be a pop-up box that appears. And it'll say, if they used your referral link, it'll say you have been personally and sponsored by this wallet address. If this is your correct sponsor, register now to join. And then if you press that button, you'll instantly be associated with that sponsor. Now, the good news about that is that with us not waiting for people to buy token, stake token, that's going to ensure that whether these people decide to participate immediately, do their due diligence and maybe join in a week or so, or 6 months from now, all that wallet will always be associated with your membership ID wallet. So I'm really, really happy about that. Okay. So even though when you look at your, it's going to really expand your first level tracking, but the way that new process is going to come out as well is when you click on them, if they're not participating or whatever, no big deal. It'll just show always registered. And who knows, maybe 3-4 months, they might come back around. So I'm really happy about that. The other thing, to avoid just some misunderstandings with registration is if someone just comes to the website, right? They just come to veritasvault.app. They don't have a registration ID. It's going to pop up again, and it's going to say, you do not have a sponsor associated with you. Enter the wallet address of the person that invited you. And there's going to be a field box there that'll be empty. And then they can just call you or look at their notes and then paste your wallet address in there. And then again, same process. Click here to be associated. And if somebody just comes like, I don't know, through YouTube or something, there'll be another little box that says, if you do not have a sponsor, click here to be associated with the DAO. And that'll be the only way that someone will hit the DAO wallet. And then for those of you returning, just to speed up that process, there'll be another button that'll just say, I'm already a member, click here to continue. So in a nutshell, that's how it's going to work. That's what you're going to see in the next 24 to 36 hours. And once we do that, okay, moving forward, especially when we launch this high-powered promotion, then again, everybody's going to be associated with you, whether they buy, sell, stake, or whatnot. So I'm very, very proud of that. It's taken us, a little bit longer than I had wished to do it, but I wanted to make that an absolute priority because once we get, I'm so sorry, guys. So It's my daughter. But once we get through that, when this promotion hits, which we're anticipating that to launch on Friday, so I'll have a whole new schedule for that come this Friday, then things are just going to be, I mean, should be absolutely, spectacular. As you all know, I work very closely with the advisory board, with a lot of you members and particularly big leaders. And I just wish, I'm so biting my tongue to tell you the caliber and experience and ginormous teams that are looking at us very closely that I'll be speaking with individually to bring on some really strong engagement. Okay, because to kind of go back to the basics, I know what attracts a lot of people to our project, our very humble project, is that we are paying out, up to 0.44% every 8 hours, which is super strong. I think probably, strong as it can get and remain stable. And that's the way in the door. But what I'm really, what my long-term objective is that once you come in, whether it's 100 die or 10,000 die, you come in, you see that you're getting paid, that what we're saying is true. And everybody here, knows that's been in for at least 2 days, right? And then you kind of expand out, right? You share it with other people. And by sharing it with other people, you then get percentage rewards off of their staking. And then those people that they invite staking and so on and so forth down the levels. But if you start building really, really big teams, right? We have an additional bonus starting at 1%, basically 3 legs with 50,000 volume in it. Whether, you can bring in 3 people for 100 and get to 50,000, right? If you really work with your teams and you really engage. So once that happens, then you get an additional extra bonus of 1%, starting at 1%, and then it'll go to 2%, 3%, 4%, 5%. So we're only about 2 months old now. We've come a very, very long way. We've done dynamic things. I mean, anybody familiar with DeFi, and we've had a couple of them on some of these calls, can see our chart and just are like floored, okay? Because many of us know that have been in DeFi projects, no matter if it's a product or some kind of crazy new service or satellite tracking type stuff, it's usually up and then down, right? And I'm so proud of you guys for, like I said, not only inviting people, but staying consistent, holding your tokens, pulling out what you need, restaking, or however your personal team strategies are, to really give us like a trajectory. You got just like that. So even though, like I said, it goes up and down, and I personally, I look at the 4-hour chart to keep my sanity. Because if I look at the 15-minute chart, it's like, oh, what? But everything's coming along really well. I hope everyone here feels the same. You always have an avenue, to me, right? Just either get to our Telegram team, which again, I'll be expanding that as well. So right now we have 2 people that are, I mean, more than 2 people, but we have 2 like official people that can get directly to me and then answer some of your questions, or that they should have the knowledge to answer them themselves. So that's one avenue to the plus our advisory council, which is plugged in with, the entire team, because they were the ones who pretty much instigated the entire team. You got Dr. Steve, who's just literally on fire. If he wants to share, it's probably premature for you, but Dr. Steve just has some incredible global things that he's been working on. I talked to him a bit yesterday, and he was working on translating the entire presentation into Spanish. So going global is literally around the corner. The promotion, like I said, don't hold off on that, because we're going to be running that for 6 weeks. So it's not like you're going to miss out anything. But if you do have people that are sincere, have done their research, are excited about the project, and want to get started right away at at where the token price is right now, now's the time. All right, because once we open that door, once the registration process gets super simple to be associated with all of the referrals, and we've got the promotion, plus some other cool marketing materials we're working on that are, you'll probably see traction on that next week. It'll be phenomenal. Okay, it should be phenomenal. Okay, I hope it's phenomenal, and I hope you guys believe it are as well, because you guys dictate that. I don't dictate that. My job is to keep the doors open and keep everything stable and keep us winning and growing. But you guys are in charge, right? Of what directions we take. Super again, shout out to the big leaders that have come up with like unique strategies. Right now, I think we've got what? I don't know. Let me see. We've got, yeah, 372 people on this call. So in this industry, again, that's huge, for such a burgeoning, blooming project. And, we're here for you. We're here for you. And I always say this, and I really do mean it. Just from where I sit, it's like you guys are there for each other, right? I mean, even if there's like a little misunderstanding or, something happens, something weird happens, you guys are always there for each other, right? So just maintain that positive energy, that positive vibe. And as we move forward, and if you knew everything that I knew, this really can be a long-term home, all right, going into 2026 and beyond. Additionally, beyond what I told you from joining because you want to make money. I mean, who doesn't want to make money, right? But once we start to grow as a community beyond that, the ecosystem is going to be the key. And when I say ecosystem, that means that using our VVA token for utility is kind of a buzzword. But what it really means is that we add products, services, different options and uses for our primary token that will spur growth coming in, not just to make money, but to have the token to achieve a certain benefit. And there's literally 3 ideas on the table, strong ideas on the table right now that we're looking at. Again, don't hold off on this, but once we get past the 2 weeks and the contest is rocking, we get our digital media in place, which is going to be a brand new rebrand, do some polishing on some additional features on top of the 3 that I just told you about a few minutes ago. And we get into December. It's going to be super exciting to do these calls. So again, I'm just here to let you know everything's good. I don't talk, a lot about my background. Most people know it, but I've been in this business since 2001. I started out pretty much self-taught. I come from a marketing advertising background. I worked at Bell South Yellow Pages in Atlanta for my early adult career. So I kind of fell in love with marketing. And around, as many would remember, 1997, 98, 99, the whole dot-com boom was happening, which got me super engaged. So I had a lot of friends and a lot of business contacts that were web developers. And at that time, it was crazy. I mean, one-page website would cost like $6,000, $7,000. It was nuts. I was like, I can do that. So since 2001, I've been doing this professionally, full time. And then around 2005, 2006, I was introduced to the network marketing community, at which time, I was just, sharing my love, sharing my joy, sharing my skills, and had a really, really big success with a company. All right. And a lot of these guys that are on the advisory council are like my mentors from back then. And we made so much money, so much fun, nice cars, traveling, the whole nine. And that kind of grabbed me, right? So if you guys, if let's say you're coming from other DeFi projects or you're brand new, to the whole concept of relationship marketing, that we're building a strong home from experience. I've built, on a corporate level, partnership level, ownership level, way over, it's not way over, but let's just call it 36. I know it's more than that, but 36 different projects in my 25-year career. And I'm putting all of that on the table, right, with my face, my reputation, my friends' reputations, to build something that will be long lasting. Okay, we've been doing this too long, right? And we've been hurt. I know you guys have been hurt maybe if you've done this many times, but I hope that when you join these calls, right, when you see the engagement that we have in our social media channel, which is primarily Telegram right now, that you can feel the difference, right? You can feel the difference in the organization. You can feel the difference in actually the amounts and types of revenue that you can grow and success that you can achieve. So just believe in that. Even if something little comes up, you got somebody screaming in your ear, oh, why didn't this happen? And da-da-da-da, and well, I'm not a founder, just it's all kind of crazy stuff. But we've already 10x the price of our token, right? In 2 months, we've 10x. My intention is, and from my original vision back in March until now, I see so much bigger than that. I mean, that's already a huge success. And again, I'm not trying to, just inflate things. I'm literally telling you, I can see so much bigger into the future. So just stay engaged, stay in communication with the people that invited you, because they have not only an interest, but probably a care for you, if you're here in the project so early. And also, if you're so inclined, I set up a testimonial option for you guys. If I need to repost that link in Telegram, I will. But if you feel it, hey, I've got this experience, I didn't know what was going on. I've never done DeFi before, whatever. I came into VERITAS Vault a couple of weeks ago, and this is what I've achieved. This is what my bigger goals are, and this is why I'm staying, engaged and in love with the project. Feel welcome to leave a 2 or 3 minute video, and we'll showcase you on that wall. And you never know. I mean, not saying I'm asking you to brag about stuff, but it might help somebody else, all over the globe. And like I said, we've already got a huge reach. My objective is to solidify that and then build on top of it as we move forward. So the next update call is going to be on Thursday. Between then and there, I'll probably be communicating through the teams and upload this stuff so we can really get going. So that's it. I'm pretty mellow today, guys. I don't know what it is, but I've got so much going on, so many meetings. So many responsibilities, but at the back of that is always the core of being truthful, right? Being transparent, right? Delivering on our promises. And again, I was talking to one of the huge leaders, and one of my mottos is, if you help enough people get what they want, you get what you want. So my objective is not to get what I want. My objective is to get you guys what you want. And that's why we stay so focused on the why. Right? Why are we doing this? Why are you engaged? Why are you putting your hard-earned, crypto, to work here? So if you keep your eye on that prize, like I said, everything else is going to just be smooth sailing. Okay. So there. That's not an income claim, but I'm happy to have you here, right? And it's a warm experience. All the love I get in the Telegram groups. I mean, oh my gosh. And that wasn't even an intention. I'm literally on this calls because, I care about you and I want you to understand that. But it means a lot to me, but it's just extra. The real reward is seeing people get what they want and living a good life. So anyway, on that good note, if I missed something, Dr. Steve, I should have addressed, let me know. We'll move on.
Yeah, awesome. Well, thank you so much, Nick, for just sharing your heart and giving us that amazing update. I know everyone has been anticipating, but I think we covered it all. Like you said, Thursday will be a follow-up to this update, which, everyone just mark your calendar. I can hear you, yes.
Great, Dr. Steve, thank you. Before I start, I was looking at the chats and, just watch what everybody says. And there's one comment in here that kind of sums up Nick and everything you know about him. And that would be Dara. And if any of you saw it, they say, Nick, you're cool as a cucumber. So that about sums up Nick. I mean, he's definitely a cool guy. And he is great when you get to know him. So anyway, my name is Barry Monet. People love, which